It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look around our world right now and see that we're in trouble. This morning, I want to talk about something that I am no expert in. It is something that I am aware of, but not something that I understand to its full depth. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I want to come to a place where I am able to use my gifts, all of the gifts that I have been born with, towards building a society that is more reminiscent of the kingdom of God. This morning I want to talk about white privilege. My name is Ed Trevors. I'm an Anglican priest in the Diocese of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. I get to live in the beautiful town of Shelburne, Nova Scotia. I get to serve in the amazing parish of Christ Church, Shelburne, that exists here on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. White privilege has, right now, as we talk about it, again, given what's going on in the world, white privilege has just an incredibly, it has a power, those two words together have a power that can elicit anger and fear at the drop of a hat, depending on what you look like. As you can tell, I'm white. Family tradition tells me that way back, my ancestor married a Mi'kmaq woman from Prince Edward Island, but I can't attest to that, and nor do I hold that up as part of my identification. I am what I look like. And I know that being white, a white male, middle-aged individual, hasn't done me a whole lot of harm. It has never caused me trouble. Looking the way I do has never been a barrier to me in life. Any times that I've gotten in trouble in life, it has been the direct result of something that I've done. It has been because I've chosen to do something stupid for the most part. It has never been because I look like this. For me, at this stage in my life, that's what I understand white privilege to be. Everybody in life has troubles. But my skin color has never been the source of trouble. It has never been the source of my problems. It has never been the source of the barriers and obstacles that are in my way, that are in the way of everybody in their life. But my skin color has never been one for me. And people of other skin colors, it has. Now, the first thing we can say is, well, that's not my fault. It is not my fault. And I don't accept blame for it. But I do accept that if I have been blessed in such a way that I do not experience barriers because of it, then I have a responsibility to use that same privilege for the benefit of others, to build a more wonderful world, to bring the kingdom of God into this place in a deeper way. We can say, well, the other thing it does, and for what it's worth, these are all statements of fear that I've heard people make, white people make. That, well, I'm not going to feel ashamed of it. I don't think anybody has any right to ever tell you should be ashamed of who you are. You should never be ashamed of your skin color. You should never be ashamed of how you were born. That's the antithesis to what it is I think we're trying to do in the world today. So we don't want to feel guilty. We don't want to feel shame. And we shouldn't. So you don't have anything to be afraid of. If somebody's trying to make you feel that way, they're wrong. But you also don't have anything to be afraid of when somebody says white privilege. You've been blessed. If you're a person of my skin color, you have been blessed. I'm not saying your life was easy. I don't know your life. I'm not saying everything in your life has worked out exactly the way you want and you have nothing but rainbows and unicorns shooting out of your nose every time you sneeze. Again, I don't know you. But what I do know is that if you look like me, your problems wasn't a result of looking like me. So white privilege. Don't be afraid of that word. Don't be afraid of that term. Don't be afraid that somebody can see you and say, you have privilege in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. The only time we should ever take issue with somebody who is blessed is when they refuse to share those blessings with the world. I have no problem with millionaires. I would love to be a millionaire. I would love to be a billionaire. If somebody came by with a dump truck full of money on the front lawn and said, "Where do you want us to put it?" I'd say, "In my pocket." I'd love to be a billionaire. I have no problem with billionaires. My problem with billionaires are the ones who don't understand you can't possibly ever spend that much in your own life. Therefore, there is no reason in the world for you to keep it. Therefore, you should find a way of giving most of it away. I don't have a problem with people coming into positions of power. What I have a problem is when somebody comes into a position of power that they don't use that power to make the world around them a better place for the people that live in that world. If they don't use that power for the benefit of their neighbors, then I have a problem with that power. The Bible tells us that God blesses everybody. It rains on the rich and the poor. The sun shines on the rich and the poor alike. Right? He blesses everybody. It's not a matter of I'm a good person, I'm going to be blessed. I'm a bad person, I'm going to be cursed. God blesses everybody. But the true measure of that blessing is only ever found when you share what it is you have been blessed with the people around you, with the people in need. And when you do that, I believe God blesses you further. When you don't do that, the blessing itself is the only reward you're ever going to have. There are people in the world who understand what white privilege means by definition much greater than I do. And I mean no disrespect by offering this talk. This is simply where I find myself today as I think through my own life and I think through who I can be in the future. I am a straight, middle-aged, well-educated man. I wasn't born with a royal flush, but I'd say I got 4 aces. It's my responsibility, being the person that I am, having what I have in my life. I need, first of all, to recognize that I have been blessed. And secondly, I need to decide every single day that I am going to use those blessings to make my community and my world a better place. I'm not going to be afraid of those 2 words. I'm going to recognize them for what they are. I'm going to accept them for what they are. And I'm going to use all that God has given me to try to make the lives of other people better. Now, before I go, I want to send this message out to my town. I'm incredibly proud to be a part of this place. I'm incredibly proud that you allow me to be a member of this community. On Sunday, June 7th, this community of 1,600 people, 1,700 people, hundreds of people gathered for a walk of unity in defiance of racism, in defiance of hatred and intolerance and injustice. It was put together not necessarily by people of traditional power and authority like a mayor or a member of parliament or a member of the legislative assembly. It was put together by a handful of individuals in our community, and one in particular that I know, one in particular that I want to call out. Her name is Vanessa, and Vanessa's a young woman. Vanessa is not the future leader of Shelburne. She is not the future of Shelburne. Vanessa is a leader in Shelburne. She is today. She is now. God bless you, Vanessa. And for all of you, God bless you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May you know the peace of being in God's presence, and may you be willing to use every gift and privilege that the Lord has bestowed on you to building his kingdom in this world. Amen. Hey again, folks. We all know that lots of stuff's going on in the world. Lots of big things are going on in the world. So today, I want to encourage you, watch out for your brother and sister. Take care of them. Be there for your neighbor. Be there for your family. Be there for the stranger. Love everyone. Throw hate away. Throw fear away. Throw jealousy away. Be one together. Amen.